All right, everyone, welcome to our Pay Yourself First movement. Our Zoom tonight, our Tuesday night. I want to call it a call, but it's more of a webinar slash conference. Zoom, wonderful technology. Something I'm not very versed in too much, but it's great that we don't have to be in order to connect everyone together here. There's lots of phenomenal ways to do that. So my name is Jesse Stanzel. I'm actually calling in here from tonight, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. As I was mentioning just earlier here, it was like 35 degrees with the humidity here today, Celsius, which I'm not really sure Fahrenheit. I don't know. That's probably 90, 95. It was hot. So this is really good for us here because as obviously the leaves are changing colors, and some of you may have known us as Winter Peg, which is the joke, which it does get very cold here in the winter. So the longer we can have weather like this, that is the better. So we're very grateful. I'm excited for tonight's to call. Welcome to those that are jumping on here for the very first time. You're in for a real treat. There's going to be some incredible information shared this evening, and you're going to want to take notes. So I've got my pen and my notepad as well. I've only been a part of this movement, we'll say, just for really 3 or 4 months, and I'm super, super excited. My background, just for those that don't know who I am or are first time hearing me speak here, is I guess I've been an entrepreneur for most of my adult life, which is, I'm not going to age myself, but it's been for a while. You guys can guess. But it's been a long time. I love working from home. I love working with people. Just really, adding value to people, helping them move forward. This vehicle, CarePar is what we're going to share tonight, was just awesome for that. For many different reasons. The last few years, I've been heavily involved in the cryptocurrency space. And, Bitcoin, that kind of thing. Some of you guys may know what that is. Some of you, that might be Chinese or rocket science to you. That's okay. By no means am I an expert. When I first was introduced to it, I had no idea what was going on. I just really listened to someone that I've trusted very much, was a phenomenal friend to me, who shared information with me, similar to the person that invited you on here tonight. They want to share with you some incredible information. So it definitely changed my life. And now this has changed my life even more with what's gone on even in the last 3 months. And I know that we're only just getting started. It's an amazing thing. So you're going to hear some great information tonight. So you're definitely going to want to take some notes. I know you might be saying, Pay Yourself First movement. What's going on with that? Well, that's okay. You're going to get those questions answered tonight. One thing that I know, any books that I've ever read, in my last, 15, 20 years of kind of entrepreneurship, being surrounded by books and stuff, is all of them tell you, or all the experts, all these guys that have made it, have massive impact on many, many lives. They all tell you to pay yourself first. Generally, they say 10%. And so when I heard this myself, I was kind of like, well, yeah, I've heard this term before. I understand that concept. Let's elaborate. So obviously, the gentleman that's going to share with you tonight, one of those guys that reached out to me, I'm forever grateful for him to do so, because we've just kind of fastened our seatbelt to a vehicle here that, it's ridiculous what's about to happen. So, lots of great stuff's going to be shared. You guys may or may not sleep tonight. That's okay. I haven't slept for the last 3 or 4 months. Don't plan on sleeping too much more for the next, whatever amount of time, because there's lots of great things to share with people close to us. So I'm going to get out of the way now because this individual is, first of all, very humble, but had massive success inside of the space, inside of working from home, helping people, paying it forward, and sharing this information with many lives that he's helped. He's had massive success. He's helped a lot of other people have a lot of success, throughout his journey, which is incredible. He does have 100% of the information, and 100% certain that he loves to have fun, because we've definitely had a little bit of that together, and we plan to do so in the future here again soon, which is really exciting. So I'm going to turn it over to the individual that introduced this to myself. who's hailing out of obviously mighty Maryland right now. And I'm going to give it over to you, Mr. Ben Bradshaw. Appreciate you.
Awesome. Appreciate you too. And can you hear me okay?
Yep. Volume's down a little bit. If you want to jack it up a bit, you can. But
yeah, definitely. I'm trying to keep it low key because we have 2 little sleeping girls, and I'd like to keep them that way.
I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, appreciate your time. Appreciate you hosting this phenomenal webinar that we have every Tuesday night. And thanks for jumping on, guys. We're gonna run through some information, and just like Jesse said, if you are on a computer or on your phone, and if you wouldn't mind making sure you're on mute, that'd be awesome. That definitely would help us, fly through this. And if you catch every third word, it's still gonna make sense. If you have a camera on your phone or your computer, and you're not doing something that you would want people to see, I would definitely recommend that you keep that camera off. So, but other than that, just sit back and we'll go some information, and definitely take notes. If you like it, awesome. If you don't like it, awesome. But I believe the reoccurring theme that you're going to hear tonight is common sense, right? And I know nowadays common sense really isn't that common in a time, in a day and age where everyone is offended by everything, right? And which is a whole different conversation. But I hope to strike a chord with you and some of the information that we're going to share tonight, because most of us weren't privy to this information growing up. We weren't taught it. We for sure had access to it, but it wasn't something that we practice, nor our parents, unfortunately. And so it's all about the pay yourself first movement. This is something that my partners and we created using this platform, this free platform. And, we're having a crazy amount of success with people from all walks of life, all over the world, that have adopted these philosophies that have actually been around for a very long time. And we're just, paying it forward with some information to help people and show them how to do it. Excuse me. And so, I hope this resonates with you. And if it does, that's phenomenal. And if not, that's okay. Maybe you know someone. So let me do a screen share really quick. And first things first, we're going to show you a quick video that is actually, it was shown to me years ago by a mentor that mentors companies and top leadership all across the world. My wife and we actually had the pleasure of getting personal mentorship from him in a roundtable style resort in Scottsdale, Arizona years ago. And he interviews, some of the top financial gurus in the world. The last time this actual challenge happened in our economy was when I got introduced to this platform almost 12 years ago now, and of relationship marketing, and it's for sure changed our lives. Because of this information and the mentorship of many people over the years, and the quest for personal growth. I mean, our lives have not been the same since, and it's just been a phenomenal run. But what's cool about that is everything that we went through over those years prepared us for this. So let me show you this video, and if it resonates with you, then awesome, then we're on the right track. So let me do a screen share, and we'll go to the next.
The world is changing faster than ever. What used to take decades is now taking years or even months.
What you see right now is the illusion that people have had for many decades about the workplace being the secure place to work the rest of your life.
For the first time in the history of our nation, our children will not do as well as us.
We've seen our friends get laid off. We've been laid off. We've had our pay cut.
People are overworked and underpaid. They seem to have less time and less freedom. They live under constant pressure. This is going to be forced. And so even if your employer loves you, they may have to cut you. There's something wrong. That on Monday morning, the heart attack rate increases by 35%. Technology is accelerating, job security is declining. It just doesn't seem like the old models of making a living are as reliable as they used to be.
Every aspect of our lives, there's a better way out there, but we're still doing it the old way.
We live in the greatest country on the planet, and there are a lot of people sitting around complaining and being cynical.
Like everyone's whining about this old model, and I'm like, why don't you leave it? Look at all this over here. Look at all this opportunity.
Since so much of our lives revolve around our work and the way we make our living, many people are thinking there just has to be a better way.
The biggest challenge facing our world today is not making money, is what are we going to do with all the displaced unemployed people?
People are afraid that they're going to make the wrong decision. People are afraid of the unknown. People are afraid that maybe I don't have the skills.
Hey, sports fans, industrial age is over. It's dead. It's dying. That's why going to school to get a job is an obsolete idea. A steady paycheck is an industrial age idea.
Again, common sense, right, is what it seems like. Obviously the world is changing and technology is the name of the game now. And by the time technology gets released, it's actually already outdated, right? And so, the information age is upon us. And unfortunately, there are still people that are practicing in the old Stone Age, if you will, of the industrial age. And obviously those people work very, very hard, not knocking anyone for working hard. It's one of the key components to being successful. However, it's not enough nowadays because you have to have the right vehicle in order to achieve success. And so, I don't know if you guys have actually read this book, Cash Flow Quadrant, Robert Kiyosaki. I wish they taught it actually in school instead of some of the things that are actually on the syllabus nowadays that don't help you in life. But there's a system for that. But, so this actual book here, when I read it, changed my life. It basically says there's 4 ways to produce income in today's day and age, 4 quadrants, if you will. Obviously, most people are on the left and you want to get to the right. And so how do you do that? And unfortunately, the masses do not have, access to, well, they have access to the information, but typically not the vehicle in order to help them. And that's where we come in. And so everyone starts typically at the employee quadrant, right? The top left, where you have a job, you don't have leverage, and you're basically trading time for money, right? Again, working hard is noble. I'm not knocking jobs. If you have a job and you love what you do, congratulations. That's not the norm typically. But trading time for money now is a challenge. We know people that unfortunately are going to look to retire. The retirement age keeps going up. They keep putting their money in tax deferred vehicles. Well, taxes are never going down. And what happens if they get sick or if a financial challenge happens, a crisis, if you will. And I can tell you guys, you take a look at the economy now, where the housing market is continuing to skyrocket. The stock market is still a bull market. And then they're, from what I've heard, going to cut interest rates again. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a recipe for disaster. And it's actually, from what I hear from financial sources, it's going to be worse than 2007. And so, just brace yourselves. Obviously, the goal here tonight is to help people be proactive versus being reactive. And unfortunately, the masses are reactive. However, people get rich in a down economy and in a recession. Why? Because they save money to buy when things are on sale. And unfortunately, the masses don't do that because they're reactive, right? And so self-employed, I always thought that was the key to financial wealth and freedom. Not necessarily the case, but no leverage. And, it's basically trading time for money too, but it actually can be worse where you own a job. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're self-employed, you don't have a system and you don't have people contributing to your income, then unfortunately, you don't own the company. The company owns you because you're the last person to get paid after your employees, your products, your overhead. It can be a challenge, right? And I know a ton of people who are self-employed, and God bless them. The backbone of this great country here in the United States is free enterprise. But small business owners are struggling. And so obviously we can help with our vehicle. Now, I've always heard that being a big business owner, right, was the name of the game, even above and beyond being self-employed. And this is where you own a system. It would be similar to like a McDonald's, right? Now, I'm not saying, McDonald's is great. I'm not saying that their food is phenomenal. As a matter of fact, I've eaten fast food, McDonald's anyway, in over 8 to 10 years personally. But, and I believe that if we got together here tonight on this Zoom, we could come up with a better hamburger to deliver to the market than what McDonald's sells. But it has nothing to do with hamburgers, has nothing to do with French fries. It has everything to do with their system. And McDonald's is actually in the real estate game, not the fast food game, if you guys have seen the movie The Founder. However, it takes about $1.8 million to open up a McDonald's, and there's about a 7-year wait list. And so those are some great barriers of entry to keep most people out, because even if we found the money, we'd still have too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. The great part about a McDonald's is that system where they hire high school kids to run it. And I've never seen a McDonald's go under personally. Actually, there's 2 McDonald's here in the Severna Park area of Maryland, where they're within a half a mile away on Ritchie Highway, and they're both like nonstop 24/7. It's pretty crazy, actually. And so, it's where you have people that work with you and for you, and obviously you cash the checks, right? And so after that, what's next? Being an investor. And that's where you have money that works for you. You send it out, it has overalls on, and it comes back with more money. And that's the end game, right? Where we can set up assets that spit off cash flow, whether we're working or not, keyword being not. And we can go travel the world, and that can be our playground, and our money chases us, and we chase our children. And so that's the end game, right? At least for me, and I know for many people that are watching this here tonight. So basically, we're going to help people dream again, right? And obviously, I don't know what that means for you, but for me, it's, something like the top left, right? Working where you want, when you want, with whom you want, and just being able to do and make decisions without anyone dictating my time, and where I spend it and who it's with, right? And so now the material things are nice too, obviously, but you want to make sure they appreciate and not depreciate. Unfortunately, many people get caught up in spending money on liabilities and not assets. And so, obviously we're going to teach you the difference between that. And so here's the platform that we use, one of the many, but Carrot Bars International. It is a company that's been around since 2011. So it's not a flash in the pan. We're not saying, hey, come be a guinea pig. Let's see if this works. It's actually stood the test of time, if you will. It's debt-free in over 140 countries, all around the world. And the mission of the CEO here, Dr. Seitz, who is the CEO and founder, is to produce the highest quality of gold that's available in the marketplace and make it easily accessible for the masses all around the world at a price point that they can afford, which is amazing. Now, excuse me, gold, 999.9%, 24 karat gold, okay, is one of our products in our ecosystem. And, you can buy it for as little as $7 if you'd like, right? That's the first way to participate, is pay yourself first. So we have these cards here that have the grams in them, gram of gold, right? You can take it to any broker, any type of gold buying place, which is always interesting to me, right? Because some people say, oh, well, why would I want to buy your gold when I have my money? Well, if you think about it, anywhere you go nowadays in any type of market, but specifically even like lower income developments, you'll see those signs up in storefronts saying cash for gold, because they want to buy your gold, right? And they want to trade their cash for it, because obviously they know something that we don't. And so that seems to be the hot topic. Do you know why? I'll tell you, because we're in a unique situation right now where, the dollar is up, so gold is down. And when the dollar goes down, gold is going to skyrocket. And it actually already is. And so what we do is we deliver it to the masses. Obviously, you can have it delivered to you, or you can allow the company to hold it in their vault, whatever you'd like to do. But this is our physical bullion here that you can purchase. And you can buy, as much as you want or as little as you want. There's really no limit to how you do it. And we can show you how to do that. And so, but here's a great, crazy stat is that why would you want to buy gold and get your money out of the fiat currency like the dollar? Well, because since the Great Depression, the dollar's lost 98% of its purchasing power. But gold, however, has risen over 4,300%. Purchasing power for the dollar is less, and it's going to continue to decline. And I really don't care what country you're in. It's pretty much the same if the gold standard isn't backing your currency, which I can pretty much guarantee that's not happening because I don't know any that it does back, except for carat bars, which we'll talk about later. So inflation is always on the rise. That same $20 in 1999 would have bought you a whole cart full of groceries. Obviously, in 2009, it would have been less. And take a look today, you probably would have gotten just a couple items in your cart. And so what do you think is going to continue to happen? Obviously, the same, right? So, minimum wage, which is minimum wage, it's supposed to be minimum. However, it's continuing to rise, but it can't even keep up with inflation. And, obviously, politicians continue to talk about it rising and rising. However, business owners, they pay you at wholesale and they sell you at retail, and that's how they keep their profit margin and keep the doors open. So it's a huge, crazy system, one that the average person is not, it wasn't designed for them. And so how do we get around it? Well, you have to solve it by buying gold to ensure your currency that you're working so hard for, right? And my background actually is in traditional insurance. I do traditional insurance. And, I help people all day, every day, insure their house, insure their automobiles. I help them insure their life, obviously, their medical, right, with health insurance. And, actually people even insure their cell phones, which they spend more on that, unfortunately, than what they'll spend, to start a business and invest in themselves with buying physical gold, which is still mind-boggling to me. But, hey, it is what it is, right? And so, with our gold, insure your currency, right? Get it out of your fiat currency, which whatever it is, it's susceptible to inflation, and put it into physical gold, which obviously you saw is a very boring, yet very stable and very lucrative program for you to, insure your currency. The company actually even has a buyback program, right? So if you'd like to sell your gold for whatever the market value is for that day, the company will actually buy it back from you, which is amazing as well. And so number 2 would be investing in our cryptocurrency to build massive wealth. And I've had, over the years, the pleasure of knowing some friends that created crazy wealth in cryptocurrency. Actually, Jesse Stanzel is one of them. He's a guy that, has forgotten more about cryptocurrency than most people even know. And so we're very fortunate to have him as a part of our actual group, the Pay Yourself First movement, as well as Steve Coates, Lewis Young, Dominic Curry, and so many others that have had upwards of $100,000 days trading cryptocurrency. And so, people say, well, I don't know much about it. It seems very volatile. Yes, it is. However, what's different with our cryptocurrency is it's physically backed by our gold. So you don't have that volatility that you normally see on the marketplace because normally people are making money when people are putting money in or taking it out. And so you have to have the fastest finger in order to capitalize on buying or selling. And with ours, because it is physically backed by gold, our KBC and our KCB coins, actually our KCB is still in our ICO phase, meaning that it is it's not on the market yet, and you can get it for a fraction of the price that it's going to cost when it's on the market. Phenomenal. Which timing is of the essence, and it's very important that you take action if you decide to come on board with our company. Which, by the way, it's free to create your account, so I don't know why you wouldn't. But the KBC is the coin that came out last year, and people have already actually cashed in some of their coins for physical gold with our company. They've exchanged it, which is phenomenal. But KCB is coming out here soon, and each coin is also physically backed and exchangeable for gold as well. And it's the coin of our cryptocurrency bank, which is in Miami, Florida, the first of its kind, of its nature, and it's amazing. Take a look at this actual chart here. This is our evaluation, right? So July 4th, Karatbars had an event in Las Vegas where people were exchanging 100 coins for 1 gram of gold, right? So if they bought, let's say 10,000 coins is what they had at the first launch of ICO with the KBC coin, 10,000, which is divided by 100 for every 100 coins, and then multiply that times 45, they would have been able to exchange their coin for 45,000 US dollars on July 4th, which is amazing. Now, obviously, fast forward to today, we're talking about KCB, and let's say, for example, you had 10,000 coins. January 1st, 2020, you divide those 10,000 coins by 75, right? And you have 133.33 repeating. And then you want to multiply times 45, which is the cost of a gram of gold. And that's not even like today's price. That would be like last year's price, $45. A gram of gold today is 50, but let's be conservative and say 45. I'll hit the button there, right? And so, actually, that's not right. 10,000 coins divided by 75 times 45. Yep. So you would have $6,000 for that price if you had 10,000 coins, okay? Now, 10,000 coins would probably cost you somewhere in the neighborhood of 800 US dollars to get. So that would be a pretty phenomenal return on investment. Obviously, we're not talking about investments because I'm not licensed as a financial advisor. So you want to be responsible for whatever decision you make as far as putting in money for your KCB coins and your gold, and just take responsibility. Most people, they're always pointing fingers. They point one out and they got 3 pointing back. However, they don't take personal responsibility. So 2021 is 50 coins for 1 gram. So let's say you had 10,000 coins at that point, divided by 50, you get 200 times 45. You have 9,000, right? So whatever the cost of those 10,000 coins were for you, again, I think it's somewhere in the $800 range. Take it a step further, 2022 is 10,000 divided by 25 is 400 times 45. That's 18,000, right? And that's if gold actually stays the same in 2.5 years, which I don't know if you guys watch the news. I typically don't. But most people are either watching CNN or Fox News, and, they're pointing the fingers at each other, which it's all fake news anyway. But the one thing that seems to be the whole true, the only thing they've ever agreed upon is that everyone is buying gold right now because of the way the market is very in a shaky state right now. So, that's a clue by itself. So let's take it a step further. And 10,000 coins, January 2023 is 1-to-1. So 1 coin, 1 gram. You take 10,000, multiply times 45, and that's if, again, in 3.5 years, the gram of gold doesn't go up at all. It actually declines, and you're looking at 450,000 US dollars. Now, if we were off in our evaluation by 99%, you'd still have 4,500 US dollars for less than 1,000. Show me another place where I can Forex my money in 3.5 years, especially when a crash is coming your way. And we're in a time where 401ks will end up as 104ks once again. And the stock market, is gonna go down. Tell me another place where I can Forex my money and I'll put some money in with you, right? So we're always open to these types of ideas because as a community, we're always looking to pay ourselves first and pay it forward. And so here's our packages. We have packages for every budget. You can get them as low as 150 euros, which is right around $180, all the way up to 1 million euros, which is over $1 million, right? So the more you buy, the more coins you're going to get. Actually, the more free bonus the company is going to give you as well. They have other incentives where they give you cash gold as well. I was talking to a good friend of mine today who was interested in taking money and putting it aside from his actual investments from what he makes, and which is smart to diversify. And he was looking at the 10,000 package, which is going to get him somewhere in the neighborhood of 128,000 coins for that money. And 128,000 coins is 164,000 coins is what he would get for 10,000 euros, plus another 43 grams of gold as well. So, that's pretty amazing, right? And so I showed him the return on his investment, and he said, how do I know if this is true? Or, how risky is this? And I said, well, let me ask you a question, because obviously you do well for yourself. He makes about $15,000 to $20,000 a month at his job, and but has very little time, has a young child at home, great friend, phenomenal family. And I said, if you keep doing what you're doing, right, unfortunately, time is going to keep passing on, and, you're going to miss it. So, the income is great, but the time you can't get back, right? And so obviously we want to help you leverage your time, put money to work for you, so you're not working for money forever. And but what happens if the actual doors closed at your work? What would happen then? And he said, I totally get what you're saying, right? Because unfortunately we never know. We don't have, we don't have a crystal ball. But the company being around since 2011, being rock solid, the global infrastructure already in place, and being debt free, right, is a pretty phenomenal indicator that the company is doing something right. And so here's our milestones, some of which we've already actually crossed over, and the company has done what they said they're going to do, which is phenomenal, right? Especially in today's day and age where most people say one thing and do another. The company has always done what it says it's going to do. And so, but if you look here, some people say, well, they're going to say, oh, this sounds great, right? Sounds phenomenal. And unfortunately, inevitably, there's always a percentage of people that go ask the brokest person they know what they think about, number one, a financial opportunity, and number two, cryptocurrency and investing and this, that, and the other. And don't you know, the brokest person they know has no idea about finances, obviously, but they're still going to give them their opinion about something they know nothing about, right? It's the same thing in, health and fitness. If you want to learn how to get in shape, you probably shouldn't ask the opinion of someone that is out of shape, right? Now, again, it seems like common sense, but common sense isn't that common. So for me, when I was looking at evaluating this company, I wanted to see what companies like Forbes was saying about the company. Forbes is the most reputable research company in the world that gets paid to do research, listed us twice, actually. This is the first article. It says we're one of the top 10 blockchain companies to watch in all of 2019. And so I didn't have to debate with, my broke friends about this. I didn't have to debate with my out of shape friends about nutrition, right? Because I knew not to ask them. I knew to seek people that had my solutions, not my problems, which is unfortunately, people have that backwards nowadays, and that's why they don't get ahead in life in general. And so number two of our two-step vehicle is pay it forward. What do I mean by this? Yes, there's an income opportunity, right? The only way to get ahead in today's world or economy is to set up these assets that spit off cash flow whether you're working or not. And so, you want to set up something that is in spite of you, not because of you. Yes, it takes work, right? But everything takes work. We have a system in place which stands for save yourself some time, energy, and money, right? If you're not good at presenting, awesome. We don't want you to present. Think about the person that invited you on here tonight. How well are they doing at presenting? Actually, their video is off. And don't you know they're on mute as well? Because we have people that keep everyone on mute so they don't interrupt the presentation. So they're actually not really doing too much, but they invited you to check out this webinar. And if it's for you, that's great. If not, that's great too. But again, all we're doing is we're the messenger. We're not the message. The system is there. The training is perfect. The people are even better. And, all we do is pay it forward to ask people if they want to participate in the same vehicle where anyone has a chance at winning, okay? And so here's our 90-day game plan. This is not an official Karatbars document. This is something that we put together because we know behaviors and compensation plans. So we can, basically we didn't want to go through a whole PowerPoint of a compensation. We wanted to say, okay, great. This sounds phenomenal. This is amazing. 5 to 10 hours a week, part-time on the side. I can do this. I don't have to quit my job. I don't have to interfere with what I have going on. But I can make, send out some text messages every day to get people to see information. I can call people, email, I can inbox them on social media, and I can send them this recording and they watch it. They call me afterwards. I ask them what they like best and then connect them to someone that has their answers to the questions that they might ask, and I can generate income. Yeah, for sure. That's how it works, actually. That's exactly how it works, right? And so people say, oh, that's simple. Is it easy? It's all relative to what you think is easy and what's hard. For me, I think it's easy, but for someone brand new, it's probably going to be tough. just like riding a bike, there was a point where you had training wheels on your bike, and then eventually you mustered up the courage to get rid of them. You probably fell down a few times, and then you got back up and maybe skinned your knee or your elbow, right? But you got back on the bike, and eventually you learned how to ride the bike. Now you were doing wheelies and jumping off jumps and doing all these crazy tricks, right? And so same thing in anything in life. Obviously, there was a point where you learned to crawl before you walk, but before you were crawling, you turned over, right? And so when you decided that it was time to walk, you were holding on to things, and then you would fall down, and then you would take steps and fall, take more steps and more steps, and eventually you started running, right? And here we are today. I don't know what you're doing now, but I would assume it's better than crawling or turning over. But so this thing is the same way. And so we have a system in training, and obviously we invite you to partake. So it's a 90-day challenge, right? So 90 days, 12 weeks. People say, what do I do? Well, number one, you want to get the actual package that is most economic, for you within your budget. And, I help people figure that out pretty simple. It's like, take the number that you can't pay your rent or your mortgage, and life is going to be hard if you put the money in and you don't have access to it for a month or two. Okay, scratch that number out, right? Take the number that you would throw in and you wouldn't do any work. If America's Got Talent comes on, you're actually going to ignore everyone's calls and not reach out to anyone. And obviously you're going to help other people live their dreams and watch them, but you're not going to do yours, right? So scratch that number off for sure. Never use that number. And then take the number that's in between those numbers, and that's the number that we're going to actually design and pick a package that's congruent with your goals and your action plan. And we do that individually, but that's kind of a guide. And so in your first week, you're going to refer 2 people that come on board with that small package, the €150 package, which is $180. Now, this illustration here would be if you came on board with the VIP package, which is the most popular, right? So in your first week, you're going to make $34 for signing up 2 people with that smallest pack, the bronze package, right? So they put in $180 each, you make $34. Not a lot of money, great return on your investment. How do you do that? Well, you make a list of 100 and you narrow it down to your top 20, right? And then we're just going to, convert 1 out of 10. Anyone can do that. I mean, shoot, if you hit 3 out of 10 in the major leagues, that's Hall of Fame numbers and you make millions. I'm pretty sure if you are coachable and you have a strong work ethic and, you listen to what we say to do and how to do it, obviously, you can't be that bad that you can only get 1 out of 10. I'm actually fairly certain about that. Week 2 is, you're not hitting the cover off the ball per se, but you help those 2 people introduce 2 and you make $1, right? And then you'll have those negative people, right? That you'll have the brokest person that is going to say, are you rich yet? And you're like, man, this is week 2. You've been working at your job for 20 years and you ain't rich yet, So don't have those conversations. You can think them, it's okay, but obviously you don't want to disrespect anyone. Week 3, 68 cents for helping those people introduce 2. Week 4, same thing, rinse and repeat. Week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8, week 9. Week 9, you just made more with your little part-time pay yourself first movement. You made $2,673 part-time, 5 to 10 hours on the side of what you have going on. That's when you walk into work the next day with an attitude, and you just have a little pep in your step, right? But still don't quit your job. There's no reason if you like it. Week 11, week 12, you can see this. Collectively, you would have made $30,000 US in 90 days, $10,000 a month. And this is just 2 referring 2 over 12 weeks. You coming on board with that, VIP package, and everyone else getting that smallest package, the $180 bronze package. That's amazing. I've never seen a plan like this in all of my experience in relationship marketing, and I've seen pretty much every plan. It's pretty insane. Now, here's what's cool about it. Even if you're off by 90%, because obviously this isn't a perfect world, it could be, it's not, you'd still make $3,000. So you make $1,000 a month, part-time on the side, $250 a week, right? And that's, again, 5 to 10 hours a week. Break that math down, So let's say 250 divided by 5. That's $50 an hour. I know a lot of people that don't make that. And that's failing 90% here, right? So let's take 250 divided by 10. If you have to put 10 hours a weekend, that's still $25 an hour. I know a lot of people that don't even make that. And so again, don't make your minimums your maximums, but I'm here to break this thing down, peel back the layers of the onion, because I have people that say, oh, I don't have time. And it's like, yeah, well, that's not really a good excuse. That should be your reason why you should do it. Because if you keep continuing down that path of not having time, you're going to end up not having time. People say, oh, I don't have money. Okay, well, great. Sell something, right? Like literally the brokest people I know are typically the ones with like those Gucci belts and, the new PlayStations, the big TVs, right? Smart TVs, whatever it is, right? And so, find a way, be resourceful. I know, immigrants that come to this country, and they find a way to start a business, right? They risk their lives on, different ways to get here for a better life. And then we have people that are here in the United States that, make excuses. It's just kind of crazy. It puts things in perspective. So, here's the other plan. If you can say, listen, I can't do $3,600, which is totally fine. I get it, but you can start at the gold level, which is $1,900 US. Well, if you do that same plan of getting two for 12 weeks with that small package, you're still looking at $20,000 US. Phenomenal. Or even a silver, you're looking at 16,000. Or let's say bronze, right? And you're like, listen, I have zero funds. I'll get resourceful to find $180 because I'll even get 1,600 coins for that. That's still phenomenal math, right? Just the coins alone, not even talking about this affiliate program. And then you do the 2x2 and you still make 13,000 US dollars. That's phenomenal. And so people say, oh, I want to do research. Well, guess what? I've done research. London Bullion Refinery is our refinery. It's literally the gold police for the world. The number one refinery in the world, 144 countries. Obviously, people would know if something was up, right? You can't fool all the people all the time. FedEx is our delivery partner. Obviously, they deliver our gold, and MasterCard's our payment partner. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say other than how soon do you want to get started, all right? I mean, that's the name of the game. And so, with that being said, guys, you guys have been hearing me chat a little bit over the last few minutes. I want to pass it around to some other people that are having massive success with our company and, very part-time. And, some of these people have never actually been involved in our space before of relationship marketing, which is phenomenal. Actually, some of these testimonials are just people that are either, just buying the coin and buying gold, maybe even referring friends or what have you. It's up to them. You get in where you fit in. You don't have bosses, just coaches. So first thing first, what I'd like to do is go all the way up to Canada. And Vince, are you on the line? Can you unmute and take your actual video off if you don't mind?
Am I live?
You are. I can see you and hear you.
Hey guys.
Awesome, man. Please share your name, background, and what the Pay Yourself First movement means to you. I'd love to hear more, please.
So I'm Vince Tolentino. I actually work in construction, installing fire protection systems. I don't plan on doing it forever, so that's why I'm kind of trying to figure out into like what to invest in, stuff like that. I just don't know what to invest in. But I'm still very new with the company. I know that Jesse and Ben Bradshaw are into, they have a lot of experience in this industry, so I'm looking forward to, learning a lot from them. But I was always interested in, in cryptocurrency. I just didn't know what to do. And, I lost some money investing in some cryptocurrency, but with Carrot Bars and with the help of Jesse and Ben Bradshaw, I know I'm going to be in good hands, and I'm just really looking forward to sharing some of this information with my friends, my family, help them out with their finances, and, there's a lot of good things that's coming up ahead.
Awesome. That's awesome. I appreciate that, man. And hey, if you wouldn't mind, how are you doing on the affiliate side? Which I already know, but if you want to share, just by sharing the information.
With the affiliate side, I'm sharing with a lot of people. There are some people, obviously, there's some that are interested, there's some that are not, but I've shared it with my family. My family's on board, so my family's taken care of. So that's all that matters. But with some people, I'm still looking forward to sharing with them. I was just on vacation, so I wasn't really, working much on my business side, but I'm looking forward to sharing with some more people.
Awesome. That's awesome, Vince. Appreciate it, man. And
thank you.
We're excited to help you with whatever you need. So appreciate you sharing that time. Cool. Let me go over to Arizona, actually, right outside of Phoenix. And just a great friend of mine, actually. We've been working together with this project, and we've known each other previous. You won't find a better quality of individual. He's someone that I admire. We talk several times a week and just about life in general, but great guy, great father, obviously beautiful family, phenomenal husband. Ryan Brimmer, take it away if you don't mind. I think you are on mute. There we go. Still on mute. There we go. Can you turn the volume up? Now he's on his phone. Okay, we'll come back to you. Don't worry about it, brother. We'll come back. Keely Rich, let's go to you next if you don't mind. Keely is actually here in the local DC, Maryland, Virginia area. A great friend of mine, known for years. And I don't want to steal her thunder, but she won't say this, so I'll say it. She actually just hit the top rank in our company here with Karatbars this past month. Very part-time. She's phenomenal and great friend, great mom, super mom actually. But she's in the Hall of Fame in real estate. So I knew she wouldn't share that, but obviously I wanted to throw it out there because she works hard in anything she does. And it's phenomenal to see her get, so much success, especially in a fast time. Keely Rich, please take it away.
Hey, thanks a lot, Ben. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Awesome. First and foremost, I'm just always blown away when you do the presentation because it's like it resells us on the whole idea of paying ourselves first. And the reality is most of us have not paid ourselves first. And it's interesting that you mentioned that I'm a Hall of Fame realtor with RE/MAX. And for those of you who don't know what that means, it means I've earned over $1 million in commissions in my real estate career. And as beautiful as that is, just this year, I ran into a situation where 2 deals fell through in the same month. And I found myself in a situation that scared me. And I decided that I was going to become open to an opportunity that was going to give me some options. So I just thank God for the Pay Yourself First movement because now, I have, 6 digits in savings just from joining this company 90 days ago. And that's just from the little bit that I started with. I'll tell everybody, I started with a bronze package, and I'm sitting here telling you I have that money saved up, but it was because I showed other people how to pay themselves first as well. And for those of you who are on the call, if you've been with the company, it's like I hear everybody say, don't compare your chapter to my chapter. I was just scared, and frankly, I was pissed off because I couldn't believe after all the money that has gone through my hands over all these years, I've been in real estate for 20 years, I didn't have anything to show for it. And I'm not embarrassed because I want people out there who don't have anything to show for it to understand that if you get involved with Karatbars, you will have something to show for it. It's just part of the game. That's what this is. So if you want to leave a legacy for your family and you want to ensure that you have something there when you get down the road, my mom's 83 and she's not the person that has to work at Walmart, but she works at Walmart because she wants to, but she still has to rely on the family. So all I'm doing is actually building a business for her, and then she's going to be able to swipe the card. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to leave the testimony. I hope that everybody gets involved and Pay Yourself First. Like Ben said, you can start as little as $7 and go up to, $1 million. And if you can't afford to buy the package, the reality is you need to ask yourself, is that a situation that you probably should look at fixing? And you can save gold until you have enough to buy a package. So just get started. Just become an affiliate. Get your free gold savings crypto account. It is a hybrid. And save your gold until you can have enough to buy the package. But don't let that make you not take action now, because you'll be so glad you did. And leave a legacy for your family. We have beneficiaries on our accounts. It's a beautiful thing. You're going to be looking into the future. You're going to do great with your money. But why not be a blessing to your family too? Back to you, Ben. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Appreciate that, Keely. Congrats on your success. And I know you're actually already game planning with some people on your team to hit that top level this month. So,
Yes.
which is amazing. So thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
And let me go back over to Ryan Brimmer. So Ryan, are you there? Were you
Can you
able to
hear
get
me?
that taken care of? Oh, I hear you. Okay.
Can you hear me good? Can you
There
hear me
he
well?
is.
Excuse me.
There he is. All right, take it away, please.
All right. Sorry. Don't. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but I appreciate you. Feelings mutual on everything you said, my friend. I'm not going to take up too much time here, but I just wanted to go back and tell you that I spent the better part of my 20s building a military career. Most of the time, I had 2 kids as a 20-year-old. So I was robbing Peter to pay Paul, and it was really my financial programming growing up that caused me to do that. I was only making $1,500 a month, but since I joined this Pay Yourself First movement, I realized going back 20 years ago, I could have definitely adjusted that. I got involved in the relationship marketing space back in 2008. And since we're being real on here, I had 0 success for the last 11 years. I probably made the most of like $800 in relationship marketing over in one time period. And so when Ben brought me onto this, I was kind of, I love relationship marketing. I love the idea of leverage. But to be honest, I left the military in 2011 looking for more success. I spent time in Iraq. I got my master's degree. I did a whole bunch of stuff chasing the traditional American dream, got myself into a 6-figure job, 6-figure plus job, and making in the mid 6 figures in my early 30s. And I was broke, man. I was broke. And I looked at my wife. We were out one night. I can remember specifically. We went to my son's baseball tournament in Phoenix, and there was people driving Teslas, and they were eating very nice food. And I looked at my wife and I said, there is no reason with the amount of money that I make every single month that we should be in this situation. And if you're hearing this story right now and you're just, shaking your head and being like, oh, poor guy, he makes 6 figures plus. Well, all of that money doesn't mean anything if you don't understand how to pay yourself first. And when Ben started this movement, quite honestly, I was very reluctant to it. But one of the biggest things that I probably never told Ben that I've changed is learning how to pay myself first and understanding what financial education really means. And in the last 90 days, I've actually gotten caught up on all my bills. We actually have most of our money. We pay ourselves first now, and we have money throughout the month. I don't have to worry about that. So, that has changed my financial life just in that because of the movement. And so thank you, Ben, for doing that. I mean, I can't tell you how much we've changed because of that. But on top of that, in terms of the company itself, the success that I've had is very small. I work because of that 6-figure income. I work like a dog. I work probably 15 to 18 hours a day without lying to you. I promise you it sucks. And I'm trying to get out of that situation. But the reality of it is I took a loan against my 401k to make this happen because I believe in Ben. Quite honestly, that's really the only reason I did it. I believed in Ben, and so I took a loan against my 401k. So I didn't have the money. So if you're out there and you're listening to this and you're saying, man, I don't have the money to do this, I would say get creative, because I promise you I took $3,200, and obviously this is my results and it's not anybody else's results. So don't take this as my word. But in 6 weeks, I turned that $3,200 into $5,900 based on the package that I invested in. So that, again, those are my results. Everybody's results will be different, but I have enrolled my dad, who in the last 11 years have never wanted anything to do with any of my little business things. He was looking for a place to park some of my mom's money after she passed away. He took that money and put it into some crypto, gold-backed crypto, of course, and because of that, I was able to turn that into a little over $11,000. So, again, my results. But I mean, if you want to talk about changes in my life, I mean, I can't even tell you. I can't even begin to express the gratitude I have for you, Ben. So back to you, man.
Awesome. I appreciate that, Ryan. And yeah, brother, we're gonna keep it going. And obviously, it was awesome. Actually, a couple weeks ago, I got a text from him about a commission he had received for just, promoting and working this part-time. And, we talked about him funding a trip for him and his wife to Europe. And I mean, it was a large portion of what that would cost that he received in commission. So that was amazing. And it was awesome to see his hard work pay off. So one more. Let me see if he is on. I don't know if he is on. Nope, he's actually not on. Let me see if the winner of tonight's. Okay, so I'm going to go to this guy, I think, right? Every week we actually do the Pay Yourself First movement does a promotion where we raffle off 1 gram of gold to any lucky winner that will pay themselves first, right? So literally you buy a 1/10 of gold for $5 to $7 and your name goes in our raffle for a chance to win 1 free gram of gold. And so we always share the winner of that on, this webinar every Tuesday night that we do it. And it's awesome that I get to announce from deep Mississippi, as he said, the winner of this past week's Pay Yourself First Friday. Jason Gwynn, are you on? And you can either just acknowledge that you got this, or I can come over to you if you're able to.
Hey, what's up, man?
There it is.
How's everybody? Appreciate the win, man. Appreciate the gram.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I mean, I know you participate every week and you understand how important it is to pay yourself first. And so, yeah, man, pick your name and congratulations. Obviously,
awesome.
That's exciting, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Great message tonight from everybody. It was powerful for sure.
Yeah, man. So we're going to keep going and definitely appreciate you and all you do to help us lead this Pay Yourself First movement forward. So I'll get in touch with you tomorrow so we can get that over to you. And yeah, man, keep leading the charge, doing your thing.
Thanks, bud. Likewise.
Thank you. All right, last but not least, actually, I did see one of our fearless leaders, a guy that I've seen over the years, within relationship marketing and business in general. Great friend of mine, actually considered one of my brothers. He's one of our top goal director elites in the company. I mean, just absolutely smashing it. And he's leading the charge. If Lewis Young, are you on? Are you able to share?
Sir, can you hear me?
I sure can. Bitcoin Lou is what they call him. So go ahead and take it away. And please let us know about your experience.
Hey, man, listen, awesome call. I appreciate everyone on the call that lent their voice to this awesome platform. I'm going to tell you, my story with this is flat out phenomenal. Sometimes even telling it, it almost sounds like you can't make this kind of stuff up. I mean, being involved in something like this by almost accident. Most of you guys know my business partner, Crypto Stephen Coates. He and I and several other friends of ours and business partners were investing real heavy in crypto technology and buying a lot of coins and making a lot of mistakes and actually making a lot of money as well. And one of the things that we found challenging was actually bringing the money back into our pockets without having a huge tax bill from everybody else's Uncle Sam. He's not my uncle, but, so I still want to kind of like get around him a little bit. So was looking to find a way to bring my profits into my pockets without putting into the US dollar, and found out, the best thing smoking at the time was gold bullion. And, I knew about Karatbars. And in the beginning, it was just something I was like, okay, it's gold, cool. Wasn't real sexy to me, but at this point, I needed to put my profits from crypto into something that was going to be a hedge for my money. So gold bullion was the deal. And I actually saw a friend of mine who pasted a link on Facebook about Karatbars, and I just called him up one day and said, hey man, I want to support your business. Send me your link. I want to buy some gold. And this was actually January 2018, and we didn't even know that the company had plans to create a cryptocurrency. And when they came out with the introduction of the ICO and said, hey, we're coming out with a cryptocurrency, its foundation is going to be the gold. it just made too much sense to me. I know cryptocurrency. I knew that having a cryptocurrency that had a tangible asset as its foundation was like seeing a unicorn at the time. So I said, you know what, we're all in. And when I found out, you know, what this company does for people, how it continues to pay people, like the low cost of entry, like Dr. Dominic Curry says, is $3.00 to get involved. No auto ship, no BV or PV, you know, none of those things. You know, man, it just made too much sense, and it's been something that I've adopted for myself, my family, people that I know and love. I put my name beside what this company is doing. My pastor's an affiliate. Several other leaders. I'm gonna say over almost 20 different leaders of organizations, not just individuals, but leaders of organizations who have other people's lives responsible. They're responsible for other people's lives because they're a center of influence. They've decided to plant their flag with what we're doing. And I'm gonna tell you, it just makes sense. The Pay It Forward movement couldn't be better with leaders that we have, like Jesse and my brother Ben and Crypto Steve, Dominic Curry, Keely Rich, you know, and a host of others that's already on the team and more coming. You know, I feel like this company is my redemption and my redemption company within the network marketing space, man. And I couldn't, all of the training, all of the years of sacrifice, all of the blood, sweat, tears, all of the stick-to-itiveness that we've been teaching, we're going to put it all to work and reap all of the benefits with this company. So with that, Ben, sir, I'll turn the call back over to you.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And yeah, I know firsthand, you know, how much you've put into this space over the years and how many people you've helped over the years. And so to see you get this level of success and be sought after all over the world from, you know, different Care Bars communities and cryptocurrency communities, and just people coming up to you and taking pictures and asking for autographs. And, you know, it's awesome, man, because it's great to see you being celebrated, you know, publicly for all your private, you know, failures that you've had over the years, and our talks, and just, you know, all of our meetings and hanging out, and just, you know, it's great to see all of it come to fruition and you experiencing the success. So we're just getting started. I mean, it's crazy. Anyway, I don't know what else we could say that wouldn't, you know, like, it's up to you. Create your account or don't, you know, it's up to you. So we're going to move forward. We're going to march forward. We'd love to have you. We'd love to show you what we do. But at the end of the day, you know, it's this thing is moving without any of us. And so, you know, we just don't have time to convince. They say man or woman convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. And so you have to be convinced to pay yourself first before you pay anyone else. This just ain't the thing for you, but we hope you find it. So with that being said, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're actually going to go over all the promotions that the company just launched. Like literally, they just launched actually, never mind. We'll go over Thursday night, same website you saw here tonight on Zoom. Okay, make sure to dial in, have your, you know, pen, paper. You won't want to miss it. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty nuts. So yeah, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you on there. And throughout the week, if you need help, just please reach out. We can help you. And we look forward to witnessing your success and celebrating you here as well. So take care. God bless. Good night.